Hi, this is Karen Fabian with Bare Bones Yoga. Today I'll be demonstrating a short sequence featuring twists. Twists are a great way to wring out your insides, promote an overall feeling of health, massage your internal organs, giving them fresh blood and oxygen. Twists are frequently featured in many different yoga postures. We'll be focusing today on a handful of them. And if you were to pair this particular video up with my earlier video on how to do sun salutations, and you did them both back to back, with the sun salutations first followed by the twists, you'd get a short, very effective yoga sequence that exercises, stretches, strengthens the front, back of the body, as well as the sides. One of the things that's helpful as we work into twisting poses is to set a base that's stable. Something that can help with that is to use a yoga block. If you're exercising at home and you don't have a yoga block, you could use a large book or maybe stack a couple on top of each other. Blocks are a great way to set a firm foundation so that before we twist, we can feel solid on the floor and then twist away from the ground. Blocks have nothing to do with your proficiency at yoga. It just simply has to do with really feeling comfortable in the pose. So I encourage you as we practice together that if you're feeling at all unsteady or uncomfortable, to try to shift from a performance mindset to more of how can I be practicing from exactly where I am right now in this moment and fully experience the pose. So what we'll do is we'll start out in downward facing dog. Setting your hands about shoulder width distance apart and your feet about hip width distance apart. Bending your knees in downward dog as much as you need to. Take a few deep breaths. And then bringing your feet together, take your right leg and lift it about halfway up, pulling your belly in towards your spine and squeezing your upper thigh. Take a breath in, and on the exhale, lunge your right foot forward using your core power as well as leg strength to bring it up so that the knee is directly over your heel. Step a little bit wide so you're not on a tightrope. Lift your back heel and then reach up. Now as you reach your arms high, if you feel at all like you're sitting in your tailbone, I want you to scoop your sitting bones under and draw up from the front of the body. Almost like you're toning, you're pulling in your abs. Do that so that you don't sit in your lower back. Reaching your arms up high, if this at all feels too challenging or uncomfortable, you can drop your back knee to the ground. So with your back leg lifted or on the ground, bring your hands to your heart center, take a breath in, and on the exhale, twist, putting your elbow on your bent knee. Your palms will be pressing together, so use that connection. You'll probably feel a little bit of leverage against your knee and your hands. Keep squeezing the back leg and rotate the upper shoulder back. If you want to look up, you can. If it's more comfortable and stabilizing to look down at the ground, do that. Twist from deep on your left side until you feel your left ribs rotating towards your right inner thigh. And then take your left hand down. Put it on a block if you want. Root the lower hand firmly under your shoulder. Reconnect through your back leg, squeezing and pushing the heel back. And then reach the arms up high. Rotate again from deep on your left side. Feel your left ribs rotate towards your inner thigh, like you're spiraling up the length of your spine, like one of those barbershop poles with the red ribbon. Again, if looking up is uncomfortable on your neck, you can look to the side or you can look down. Take a full breath and then release your hands. Slide the block over, step back to high push-up or plank, and lower down. Inhale, lift to up dog. Exhale, press, downward facing. Take your left leg high and then lunge it forward. Lift the back heel and reach up. Again, feel for what's going on with your pelvis. If you can imagine the top of the pelvis, you want it to be level. So if you feel at all like you're sitting in your lower back, imagine your pelvis is actually falling forward. We want to tuck the tail and bring the top of the pelvis to a neutral position. Bring your hands to your heart. Take a breath in. Lean forward and turn. And remember, the more width you have, the more stability you'll have. So if you feel unsteady, just bring your back foot over to the right or your front foot over to the left. Rotate, 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 and then take your right hand down. Take your left arm up. Take a breath in, and then release. Exhale as you lower. Inhale, lift, up dog. Exhale, press, down dog. Take a breath. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Take a long breath. On your exhale, bend your knees, look forward, walk or jump. Lift halfway up and fold forward. Reach up high, inhale. Bring your hands to your heart. All right, now we'll come into chair pose. Bend your knees, reach your arms up. Bring your hands to your heart center and turn to the right. Place your elbow on your knee. Use that same pressure of the palms to create rotation. And if your feet at all feel uncomfortable, you can always open your feet to a position where they're parallel but more comfortable. Open your arms when you're ready. Use a block. Put your hand on the floor. Just have your hand rooted on something, because then you'll be pushing away from the ground. Very difficult to create rotation without foundation. So set your foundation, feet and lower hand. Rotate, drop the tail, lift up through the shoulder. Take a breath, and then release. All right, so now open the feet to hip width. Grab between your big toe and your second toe with your peace fingers. And notice that my hands are turned in towards each other. Bend your knees and lift halfway. And then on the exhale, fold. You really want to be connected to your feet. So you can use that connection to create almost a traction, almost a pulling, without forcing your chest towards your legs. Keep lifting up through your sitting bones, but notice I can bend my knees and still work that movement. I don't need to have my legs locked. We want to try to practice yoga in a way that acknowledges where we are in our bodies right now. So if your hamstrings are tight, this can be a very frustrating position. But if we just kind of surrender a little bit by bending the knees, so what? You'll experience the pose more fully, more authentically, and in a more healthy way. Release your feet, bring them together, bend your knees, reach up, inhale, bring your hands to your heart, and turn to the left. Drop your hand down, and again, you could use a block here if you wanted. Reach your upper arm high, sink your hips low, take your upper shoulder back, inhale, and then release. Open your feet, hip width distance. Slide your hands under your feet. I call this pose a cure for iPhone-itis, or if you're a BlackBerry user, BlackBerry-itis, because our fingers and our palms and our wrists get so tight from typing all day on those little devices. So this is a way to stretch out your wrists, massage your hands, and it's also pretty empowering to be holding up your whole body with your hands. Bend your knees, inhale, lift halfway, and then exhale, fold. Set your eyes towards one spot. Let your neck relax. Lift up through your tail. Breathe deeply. Take an inhale and an exhale. And then release your hands. Bring your feet together and slowly, bending your knees, roll up to standing. Reach up, inhale, and hands to your heart. Take a breath in and out. All right. So I hope you've enjoyed learning a little bit about a short sequence you can use to focus on twisting postures. The poses we did today are crescent lunge with a twist and then prayer twist. Again, if you pair this up with my How to Do Sun Salutations video, doing that one first, it's a great, short, effective yoga sequence to do to create overall strength and flexibility and promote relaxation. If you have any questions, please send me an email. Visit my website, barebonesyoga.com. Namaste.